You're listening to episode 63. Welcome to Behind the Brand, a podcast dedicated to strategically building your online business. Here we go behind the scenes and share stories and strategies that can help you build your own dream business that supports your own dream life. I'm your host, Kelsey Kerslake, and I'm the CEO of pinegateroad, a branding and web design agency for online businesses and influencers. We create online presences that aren't just pretty, they're powerful. To learn more about working with pinegateroad, head to pinegateroad.com and schedule a free consult call. Now on to the show. Hello, welcome to Behind the Brand. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today, I really wanted to chat about something that has been popping up just in so many different ways, whether it's been in client conversations, sales calls, I'm seeing it online, it's just all over the place, and I feel like it's something that not enough people actually talk about, and it is kind of something that is very near and dear to my heart and soul as a brand and web designer. So what I want to talk about is building strategy into your website to make sure that it's actually converting for people that are viewing your website and turning them into clients and customers. So when you're building a website, that's literally the point, right? You want to be able to show up in the world, you want people to view your website, and you want to get them to that next step. That can be either booking a sales call, it can be getting into your email list, it could be joining your Facebook group, joining you on Instagram. Like, you want to make sure that the people that are viewing your website are doing whatever next step that makes sense for your business. And what I find a lot of people doing is they really just create things that, one, they look good, they just get things up just to literally function. Sometimes people just have here's my name, here's what I do, and a contact page. So it's really lacking in a lot of that thoughtful strategy that can really make or break a business. So something happened recently on a sales call, and it was really interesting to me because I go into sales calls and I'm always like, okay, let's just talk about what your vision is and kind of figure out what can help you get to that vision. And this sales call was booked under the premise of them wanting to get some Instagram strategy and some Pinterest strategy so that they could drive traffic to their website. And so coming in with that sense, it's like, all right, well, let's go look at your website, see how it's set up. This was an e-commerce site, so we were looking at the conversion rate. And if you're new to e-commerce, that's really how many people are on your site and how many of those people convert to sales. So what is that ratio? And for e-commerce, really, like a 2% is great. People might look at that 2% and be like, oh my gosh, I'm failing. Only 2 out of every 100 people that are coming are actually coming into sales, but that's actually a really great rate. And usually anything above 1 is okay, things are working, you're good. Let's try to get it closer to 2, but things are working pretty well. And anything below 1, there's probably either your product is just not something that people want and that hasn't been necessarily validated, or your website just isn't explaining the value and conversion tactics aren't built into your website in order to guide people to that sale. So it's either the product or how things are strategically set up to convert. So when we went into the site, I was like, hey, can you just open your Shopify? Can we look at your conversion rate? And hers was below a 1. So I immediately looked at her website and I was like, okay, here's a few things that I think your product is wonderful. There's definitely been a lot of interest. She's making sales. But the way she was explaining it, when you went to the website, there was just some common things that were missing. And I'd love to just kind of, for this podcast, go over some of those very basic things to make sure that you have them built into your website. So I have no notes here. I'm literally going off the cuff because I could talk about this all day long. So when we were chatting, it was okay, when people come to your website, what are they being greeted with? So the things that you see when you first open up a website without scrolling, in web design land, we call it being above the fold. You might see this in newspaper and magazines too. So when you are putting things on like a newspaper rack, the newspaper folds in half. That's where this term came from. So anything that's designed above the newspaper fold is like the prime real estate for any print material, for any website. So when you just look at it without touching it, what do you see? So if you go to your website and you don't see, if you can't understand what this website is offering, what you do as a service provider and who it's for, then that's an opportunity for you to get more clients, get more customers, and up that conversion rate. So step number one, just make sure that you're putting who you are and who you're for so people can identify them as target audience members or not. And then also putting an action step. So this action step is something that I see missing a lot. Like when you are designing a website or you're designing any kind of anything for your business, you want to know, okay, when I'm structuring my business, what is the next thing that I want somebody to do so that I can make a sale or it'll eventually lead to something. And this is going to be a little bit different for every business. So we're currently working with a service provider, and her goal for her website is actually just to get engagement on her Instagram, on her YouTube, like in her social media channels, because the more engagement that she has on her social media and traffic to her website, the more influence she gains. That influence is then translated to her booking speaker spots. It's translated to her going on speaking tours and being a brand ambassador for these larger organizations. So while we do have a page that's going over kind of like how to get her booked if you are a larger organization, that her booking those gigs is tied to the influence that she has online. So our main goal for the website is to get people like going to her Instagram, getting engaged, getting to know about her and wanting to be a part of like her community and her things that are going on online. So that is the number one goal. So again, it's going to be different for everybody. If you're an e-commerce shop, you might want to just say like, hey, shop our most popular products and have a little button that goes there. For pinegateroad, what I really like to do is the next step to like me or the company, it's not just me anymore, old habits die hard, is to get people on a call. So we can talk through and we can see if pinegateroad is a good fit or point them in the direction of something else that actually gets them to their vision and their goals for their business. So my next step for most things is to book a call. Book a call online. We have buttons all over the place, and that is that one key action step. So I always like for people to decide what is the key action step that you want people to take in order to get to the goals that you need for your business. So putting that right up front and building things throughout the website to make sure people are going to that goal is really key. Another thing I see people not necessarily like messing up is just connecting with who their target audience is. So I did a target audience podcast recently that goes totally in depth with like defining who that target audience is and why that's so important. So once you define who that person is, making sure that you're clearly communicating and talking to that person and their hopes, their desires, their problems, their needs, their wants, all of those things, and encompassing it in really creative copy that makes them feel really heard and understood is going to be key in converting people from viewers to potential clients and customers. So the more you can get into their head, get into their tone of voice and talk to them and they feel understood, it's all about how your clients and customers feel. It's not about you explaining more details of your products or details of your services. And yes, those can be added in. Those are very helpful for people. But the first key thing is making sure that people feel understood and like they have an emotional response to what you're saying and how you're showing up online. So that's always a key feature that we try to build into, not even try, we do build into all of our websites strategically. And we love partnering with amazing copywriters to get those words just right as well. So we have another episode of Behind the Brand that is all about copywriting with my good friend Christine Bluebow. So if you want to go a couple episodes back and learn more about like what you need to do to get amazing copy, that would be a great episode for you to listen to. So those are a few things that work for building a converting website. I could literally go on about this all day. If you ever have any questions about what is needed or like specific, like, well, should I be doing this or that? Just reach out to me on Instagram. I love talking through this kind of stuff with you guys. And if I can give you any more specific tips, I would love to do that. So reach out to me at pinegateroad and send me a DM and we can kind of, I don't know, you can say like, is this really working? And I'll take a look, see if it is, and give you some of that feedback. So yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I feel like it really comes down to that foundation. Like when you have your business set up to the point where you know what you want to be selling, you know your offerings, you have all of that foundation set up, you really need to have this website up in order to convert those viewers to customers and clients. And these are just some of those ways that you can do that. And when you have those goals mapped out, it then becomes really clear and really easy to map this out on your website because you can see like, okay, this thing is functioning in this way so that it can get this client and customer here. And you can really see the journey that the customer is going to take in order to move into that next step. So there should be very thoughtful conversations happening around your website instead of if things just look nice. And if you're in the camp where you're like, okay, I just have these things up and they're looking nice, and you want to dive a little bit deeper, I think that there is so much opportunity for you to get to that next step, increase your client calls, and just whatever you are doing to build your business. If you're in the camp where you would just love this done for you, I would love to chat with you about this. So if you want to head to my website, pinegateroad.com, you can book a call and we can personally chat about what that would look like for you to have a highly converting website built up to strategically grow your business this upcoming year. So we love working with clients who are like, here's my big vision, here's my business goal, and really doing all of the foundational work and the details to make sure their entire online presence is set up to help them reach those goals. That is my biggest passion, and it's what our team has been working so hard to create and do and work for our clients. And it's a really fun, exciting experience. So if you would like to just chat and see if that might be a good fit for you, just book a call on the website, again, at pinegateroad.com, and we can set up a call and chat through that. All right, so happy converting website day. Whatever, I'm clearly losing it. Okay, have an amazing day, and I'm wishing you all the best luck as we transition into 2019 very soon, and we're working on all of our new business goals and all of the fun things. Have a great day, and I will talk to you next week. Hey guys, I'm here to chat about an online system that I can't get enough of. I'm sure you hear from a lot of online business owners who've been scaling their businesses and about how having systems in place that work for them have been essential for their growth. Putting systems in place might be getting solid processes down, or it can be using a program like Seva to run your email marketing. When it comes to growing my business, the more intuitive something is, the better. Seva, which was formerly ConvertKit, is by far the most intuitive and easy to use program that I have ever used when it comes to growing your email list. They have easy pop-ups you can use on your website, forms that send out free downloads for content upgrades on your blog posts, and 24-hour help if you ever run into a snag. They have amazing customer service and have even helped us custom code some beautiful forms for our clients with no extra charge. I love that they're able to do that, and it's always so helpful. We use Seva here at Pinegate Road and always recommend them to our clients. If you're saying yes, please, to an intuitive system for email marketing, head to pinegateroad.com/email to grab a free 30 days to start growing your email list and upping your marketing game. Thank you so much to our sponsors for making this show possible. And thanks to you for taking the time to spend some time with me here today. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or catching up on past episodes, head to pinegateroad.com/podcast to learn more. Sending lots of love, and remember, you've got this. See you next week.